Kizamde, hop on the beat!
Welcome back to another JoJo chapter review. This time we're taking a look at chapter 34 of the JOJOLands titled Usagi Fraud and Suspicion Part 2. Last time we entered into Act 2 of the JOJOLands with a 9-month time skip introducing a new arc with the disappearance of Usagi's mother and sister. This month we pick up with the gang beginning their investigation following in the missing family's footsteps. Usagi's mother Allison and his little sister Tori are spotted on camera leaving their apartment and traveling, eventually stopping at the house of a man named Max, where they stayed for 2 nights. Meryl May believes that Allison is under the orders of the person who scammed them and stole their money, and is likely trying to have control of Tori for the purpose of selling off her organs. The group arrives at Max's house and spot a figure with a cane inside, likely Tori, who is shown to have a disability. They find the body of Max, who apparently shot himself with a revolver. Jodio doubts that Max is the cyber scammer, since he doesn't seem to have any computer equipment. With Meryl's request, Usagi checks the nearby traffic cameras showing that they left through a park behind the house 2 hours ago. Dragona points out that it doesn't seem like the two of them are in a hurry, and while they do seem to be moving towards something, they're otherwise acting normally. Usagi says that the two of them don't even seem to think he's looking for them. He remarks that they aren't on good terms, recounting a story from his past. When he was 14, Usagi had a crush on a boy from another school, and when he told his mother, she had him placed in a correctional institution. Since then, he says that his mother has acted coldly towards him. The group decides to follow their path to the nearby zoo. We flash back to Jodio's call with Rohan from the previous chapter, where he recounts his story of finding the lava rocks in the first place. Wanting new material for his manga, he agrees to tell Jodio the location in exchange for hearing how much money they made from using up the last rock. At the zoo, Usagi shows a picture of his family to a security guard who points him to where he last saw them. After Usagi turns away, the guard starts to taunt him, taking on the appearance of Max and saying that he took advantage of his mother. When Usagi turns around, he is attacked, and we see from Paco's perspective that there is no security guard. The chapter ends with Usagi being pulled into the alligator enclosure. This was another great chapter. We've now started what seems to be the first stand battle of Act 2, with whatever was making Max appear to Usagi. To start off, this ability immediately reminds me of the Ghost Alley from Part 4 with how it goads Usagi into turning around before attacking. As for the user of the stand, I'm not quite sure. It could be the cyber scammer himself or somebody aligned with him. On the other hand, I think it's definitely possible that Tori has a stand. Earlier, we see someone who is definitely meant to be Tori disappear at the house when she was meant to have left hours earlier. Now, whether this is really Tori or some illusion created by the stand ability like Max is here remains to be seen. The big highlight this chapter is definitely Usagi's backstory with his sexuality and mistreatment from his mother. Last year, I made a video going over the LGBT themes and characters from the series. I intentionally left some things out of that video, like the recently introduced lesbian couple Lem Shaban and Key West, to see how they'll develop over time. So once I make a follow-up video to that, this will definitely be making it in as well. I will say that Araki has once again touched on such a serious issue with a lot of care, much like he did with Dragona's backstory back in chapter 13. So this seems to be a bit of a running theme in this story. And I can expect that certain people, including some of the annoying commenters I got on that video, once again aren't going to be happy with this new development. Like I said in the last review, Usagi has been sort of in the background until this arc, so I'm glad to finally be getting some added depth to him. Last year, I was able to put out that video in June as a sort of Pride Month special, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this new plotline develops so it can fit into a follow-up a few months from now. In other JoJo news, we finally reached the release of the first episode of the Steel Ball Run anime on Netflix. The 47-minute episode covered the first 11 chapters of the manga, ending with the conclusion of the first stage of the race. While there were some key omissions, some of which I expect them to flash back to later, I do think it was adapted quite well, and I'm excited to see more. As for when we'll get more, we're entirely in the dark, with even the director being vague as to when more episodes will be released. Taking a look at the series on Netflix, we can see that the episodes will be displayed by stage of the race, so it's possible that we could see the release somehow segmented that way as well. The Steel Ball Run anime will be getting a stage event at Anime Japan 2026 a few days from now, so we may see something announced there. We have also received the 6th issue of the JoJo magazine, which includes some new spin-off material and features focused on the anime. We also recently learned about the next installment of the Rohan TV drama. This one is titled Kyoka Izumi Does Not Shut Up, and will instead focus on Rohan's editor Kyoka as the main character. Something else interesting is that this will be the first original story of the TV drama, so it isn't adapting any manga or light novel chapter like the previous episodes. We've also learned that Araki himself is participating in the episode, being credited with script cooperation. So while he isn't writing it outright, he does seem to have some input. I love the TV drama, and especially Kyoka, so I'm very excited to see this one when it releases on May 4th. I've been sick the past week, so I haven't been able to record videos to cover everything yet, but expect a few new videos releasing shortly so I can go over all the new stuff we've gotten for JoJo. If you want to stay updated on new videos, make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell. You can also join the Haman Beat Discord to get notified on new uploads, chapter releases, and important JoJo news. Finally, I'd appreciate if you help support the channel on Patreon or by becoming a YouTube member. All supporters get their names featured in the credits and can submit viewer questions. Thank you for watching. This is the part of the video where I thank my $5 and up patrons and members. Thank you to Doorbell, Crayon, Rigovids, Pumpkin Doge, Sponge Cake, Cakext, Feliciano Rabaja, Christian McDonough, Pulse Dog, Rob Goliath, Big T, Gold, Red Hot Mayonnaise, Baxtonius, Zenkai, Keenan, Saint Bobo, John Garcia, Crankenplank, Fran Studios, Shin Megami Tensei Film Reviews, Griffiono, Fiddlehead, Justice, Jao Marchins, Danilo K, Star the Gunslinger, Mel, Collie, Javier's Milk, Billy the Corgi, Joe Jogan, and Time Lord.